things in motion. The Blood Raven tells him that he has to become him, because the Blood Raven knows that in his earlier days, the future Bran is the one who controls the Blood Raven and taught him the ways and sent him to the Children of the Forest to hold the place until he, Bran, could come to him and learn him. It's very confusing. But the last hero is an unknown man who settled the Children of the Forest, needing their help to defeat the Whites because they have invaded there for the first time. The first men eventually won for the battle for the Dawn, defeating the Whites and sending them far into exile. And if you remember, this is when the Night's Watch first formed, as told by Old Nan. This is what she says, quote, "Now these were the days before the Andals came, and long before the women fled across the narrow sea from the cities of Roaring, and the 100 kingdoms of those times were the kingdoms of the first men, who had taken those lands from the Children of the Forest. Yet here and there is the vastness of the woods. The children still lived in their wooden cities and hollow hills, and the faces in the trees kept watch, so as cold and death filled the earth. The last hero determined to seek out the children in the hopes that their ancient magics could win back what the armies of the men had lost. He set out onto the Deadlands with a sword, a horse, a dog, and a dozen companions. For years he searched until he despaired of ever finding the Children of the Forest in their secret cities. One by one his friends died, and his horse, and eventually even his dog. And his sword froze so hard the blade slipped.
Dynasty united the Seven Kingdoms and lasted nearly 3 centuries. It was a dynasty forged in fire, sealed in blood, and destroyed by rebellion. The Targaryens are blood of the dragon, descended from the nobility of ancient Valyria, a once mighty empire in the east. When the cataclysmic doom laid waste to Valyria and its people, the Targaryens survived, having settled on the island fortress of Dragonstone years before. They remained there for a century, until the rise of Aegon the Conqueror. Instead of attempting to reclaim the East, melted down by the fiery breath of his dragon, Balerion the Black Dread, and forged into the Iron Throne. The capital city of King's Landing was built on the eastern coast, where Aegon and his sisters first came ashore. And Aegon ordered the construction of a royal castle on its highest hill, the Red Keep. Sir Jaime Lannister, a member of his own Kingsguard. His son and heir, my brother Rhaegar, perished on the field of battle at the hands of Robert Baratheon, who claimed the Iron Throne for himself. And so today, the only surviving members of the storied Targaryen dynasty are myself, Prince Viserys, rightful King of the Andals and ruler of the Seven Kingdoms, and my sister, Daenerys. We were spirited away to the free cities of the east by loyalists. Here we have lived in exile ever since.
Step into my range if you want to be a pincushion.
And take back my father's throne. days of the Angles were numbered. One man so-called kings would bend their knees.
Get up there.
Aegon who was blood of the dragon. After defeating the Iron Man
Always be prepared.
and slaying the last of the Storm Kings, Aegon and his sisters, Rhaenys and Visenya, set their sights on other places. The gold mines of the rocks and the fertile land of the rich. King Loren Lannister of the Rock and King Mern Garden of the Reach foolishly thought their combined armies would beat their Each beast was named after the Valyrian gods of Aegon's forefathers. Visenya was Vega, whose fiery breath has been slain. Rhaenys was Meraxes, whose jaws were big enough to swallow has been slain. With fire dark as night and wings so huge that the towers were covered in shadow and endured the heat. This would be 4,000 men were bathed in glorious dragon blood, and the opening land is the field of fire. King Mern was among the dead, and House Gardener died with him. The stewards, surrendered his ancestral stronghold of Highgarden to Aegon, and were appointed Lord Paramount of the Reach and Wardens of the South.
An ally has been slain.
When Loren Lannister witnessed fire, Aegon spared them. The innocent were made Lords Paramount of the Distance and Wardens of the West.
An ally has been slain.
Aegon's conquest was short. In a short time, the so-called Seven Kingdoms were melted down in the heat of the dragon's blade and transformed into a single Aegon forever as
This gets to the point.
An ally has been slain.
Nobody knows why the Targaryens first came to the island with Dragonstone. Old Valyria was then at the height of its power and city. The narrow sea. Westeros was a filthy backward and so many kings squabbling around the border. So much for progress. The island itself was and is now. But it would go all the way thin after rumour Valyria mostly shining stone, too brittle to move. Just kidding! Targaryens call it dragon words. I call it useless. The Targaryens used to raise a castle. Chickenton's blame Valyrian sorcery, forgetting that the Targaryen began to start.
Always be prepared.
An ally has been slain. Killing spree.
Strange.
Killing spree.
If the Targaryens ever regretted their barren and longed for the comforts of home,
Minions have reached your portal.
made their folly permanent. Valyria collapsed into a blaze and was no more. To look east was to see their home, the greatest civilization before their trust. But to look east, was to see a fertile land ripe for conquest, perhaps even more living. Looking for little else, Dragonstone was the perfect staging point for Aegon's invasion of Westeros. The Black Rocks granted easy access to the continent. The lands there were disputed by three kingdoms, the Reach, the Iron Islands, and Stormland. But their capitals were far enough away that none could mount a force before Aegon got a foothold. Even if their king has been able to stop bickering over who's got the hold. Then it was too late. David had chosen his first king. The river to the east, the river to the south, and open fields to the north and west, his army would be impossible to take by surprise. Perfect site for an invasion, and one day, his capital city, King's Landing. After the conquest, Dragonstone became the seat of the crown prince and
reached your port.
It was set
An ally has been
and
slain.
made ill 300 years later when rebelled against the Iron Throne, and the Lannisters slaughtered the mad King Aerys and his royal family. Robert dispatched me to deal with the last surviving Targaryen children, but before I arrived, a loyal nurse hatred for the Targaryens blinded Robert. Unjustly, I would blame, and stripped him out of storms and then Dragonstone instead.
Behind you!
Robert would remind me of the Irish War has been slain. As if I were one of his to be so easily
Double kill.
Like a twig.
And I, Stannis Baratheon, am the rightful king of Westeros.
An ally has been
Let the
slain.
usurpers and traitors sit on the Iron Throne. From Dragonstone, I will be the dagger of their throat.
An ally has been slain. Killing! An enemy has been slain. Fire! An ally has been slain. Unstoppable! Shut down! Have slain an enemy.
So whenever King's Landing looks
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Get out of this.
his son remains.
Fire!
The builders finally finished their stick into the nail to keep it secret.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
The king has no need
I got your back.
You have been slain.
Simpering Baylor with the letter created the maiden to imprison his own sisters and save himself from Connor's thoughts.
Minions have reached your portal.
My favorite place in the Red Keep. The Shriek of War, where a man
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
This gets to the point.
An ally has been slain. Killing spree.
twist your ears whenever you want to expect.
Minions have reached your portal.
Targaryen
Always be prepared.
his nephew to watch as he fed the boy's traitor mother to his dragon.
Killing spree.
When I sit on the iron throne, I in the next with all of Westeros suffering
An ally has been slain. Rampage. Fire knife. An ally has been slain.
I'm over here.
No. Killing spree.
This gets to be more careful.
Shut down. An ally has been slain.
Get out of this.
Double kill. Killing spree. Killing spree. Rampage.
This is the first in a series of videos talking about Aegon the Conqueror, a man that would set the groundwork for an almost 300-year dynasty of Targaryen kings in Westeros. But to truly understand how great Aegon's conquests and achievements were, we need to start back a bit with Valyria, and the people known as Valyrians, the people the Targaryens came from. The Valyrians originated from a great peninsula across from Slaver's Bay named Valyria that contained huge volcanic mountains known as the 14 Flames. At one time, it was considered the greatest city in the known world. On this peninsula, the Valyrians somehow learned to tame and control dragons. The people of Valyria would tell tales and claim to be descended from dragons, and even related to the ones that they controlled. The Valyrians are known for their purple eyes and hair of pale silver or gold. These features are unique to them, and to some is proof that they are of different blood than other men. They had no kings, but instead called themselves the Freehold. In the beginning, there were 5 great wars between Freehold and Old Gis. On the 5th and final war between Valyria and Gis, the Valyrians razed the ancient walls of Old Gis, used their dragons to destroy pyramids, temples, and homes, and then sowed their fields with salt, lime, and skulls. In the end, the Valyrians had killed many people of Gis, but they also enslaved a large number of them as well. The people of Gis were the first the Freehold had ever enslaved, but it wasn't the last. The mountains of Valyria contained copper, tin, bronze, and iron, and the Valyrians desired it. To achieve this end, and seeing how well enslaving the people of Gis and forcing them to work in the mines turned out, they began enslaving more and more people. And as the need for more resources grew, the Valyrians started going further and further to acquire more slaves. The Maesters claim the number of slaves working in the Valyrian mines eventually reached uncountable numbers as the Valyrians kept pushing west into Essos. On the shores of Essos, the Valyrians even began to build cities, which one day these cities would be known as the Free Cities. Some cities had an archon from Valyria to oversee them, while other cities could actually purchase the right to rule themselves as clients of the freehold. Soon Valyrians themselves began to move to these cities, interbreeding and sometimes marrying to better bind the cities to Valyria and the freehold. But some people resisted the Valyrians' expansion and slavery, such as Rhaenar and the confederation of cities called the Kingdom of Sonor. Those that couldn't fight against Valyria but didn't want to be enslaved instead fled. One of these people were the tall and fair-haired people known as the Andals, who knew they were no match for the Valyrians. Eventually, even Rhaenar couldn't withstand the freehold and was destroyed, and with their destruction, the Valyrians had complete domination and control of the western half of Essos. Some Maesters believed that they next planned to invade Westeros, especially with the construction of Dragonstone, an outpost on an isle off of the Seven Kingdoms. Some lords, but no kings, of the Narrow Sea tried to resist the construction of Dragonstone, but it proved futile.
Hi everybody, and welcome to GeekTube Central and our new Game of Thrones history series. We'll be covering the pre-history of Westeros and all the stuff that happened before Season 1. The Dawn Age. Now, when we were first introduced to Westeros, Robert the Lion became a Marian throne. Now, it wasn't always so. Fairly recent history to do with the last 300 years was brought up in the show all about how Robert was the usurper of the Targaryen line, and that's what happened in the Robert's Rebellion. We want to go back further, we want to go back to the start of the known history of Game of Thrones. And this is the first era, the Dawn Age, which is significant for the changing of the Forest and how they affect the arrival of the First. This is very big continent, right? And in the Dawn Age, we get two races, and none of them are human. We're talking about 15,000 years ago, children of the forest and the giants. First, some of the giants, now if the name suggests they're big, but they're not massively big. They're about 12 to 14 feet in height, basically twice the size of a human. And they kind of resemble what we would describe as Sasquatch or Yeti, you know. They don't wear traditional clothing. They're covered in like this shaggy fur coat, and it's quite thick and raised. Now, it's actually attached to their skin, and apparently as they become older, it turns grey and the streaks with white. Now they have humanoid features, but as you can see, they're kind of like what we imagine as Cro-Magnon. They don't really have great eyesight, but they have really good smelling ability. They're not very good. They are able to learn speech, but because they live in the north, they basically are Stone Age kind of technology. They don't make or wear well clothing because they're quite well protected by their fur, and they tend to use more things that are easy to hand, like a big tree log as a club, or using rocks and boulders to make basically crude smaller type weapons. They've even been able to form basic stone axes, but their brute strength is their main weapon. In prestige, they like them. They don't have canes or anything to however, in their species, with all their strength, they're supposed to wear that. So the older, larger, and stronger giants are looked upon slightly differently in that they are seen as like warband leaders or chieftains. Dawn Age is the first time in history in Westeros. It really has been watered down and reduced to because every nation have much like the human tradition where it was told from person to person. But over the years, as it's been translated and transmitted to people, it's been reduced down to the form of folklore, ballads and songs. But what do we know about the children?
Always be prepared.
Although slight in stature, they were very quick and graceful as they moved. They were also very skilled in magic, which were discussed first. And they were very such a good weapons that they learned to use, and drag weapons. More specifically, weirwood tree bows and they used
Somewhere? Has been slain.
Show me what you've got.
This was important because it was believed that the users could see through the eyes of the carved faces, and that was enough to pass it. And like I said, they could see through
An enemy has been slain.
It's here where they felt hidden energy in the tree. It's a choice of dwelling that directly relates to what they worship. into the shrine, as I said, and one of the most
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
and their minds and their culture was never replaced, never been under.
An enemy has been slain.
This time the first man arrived. Peace and large numbers. Traveled through his first the war horses, they had long swords, leather ships, and armor.
Killing spree.
This gets to the point.
It was at this point that the children realised they were on the winning side. They couldn't fight against the first men. So they turned to their greenseers, their wise men, who used their powers to bring forth this almighty storm and this magic power to attack the Armored Dawn. Now, the Armored Dawn was a land bridge, and they had decided that if we break this, shatter this, they'll no longer attack. Which was true, but unfortunately, when they created the broken Armored Dawn, it was a bit like closing the stable door after the forces had bolted. The first men were already colonized, and they were already moving north. So the only recourse that the children had was to try and do this again, but it was an even greater scale. They decided to break Westeros from the north and the central path, and this was to happen. And so they brought a stronger version of what they did in Dorne,
Always be
and they
prepared.
used the Hammer of the Waters to try and break the neck. Instead, what we ended up with was a big influx of water to flood the area, and it became very strong. Now this, although a failure, actually was a success in the long run because the first men realised that this was a show telling that they respected not going to fight anymore, and that's what brought forth the fact that after nearly 2,000 years, the first men and the children had decided that enough was enough, and they took their representatives to Riverlands decided to go for peace, and this island the representatives agreed that the open land near the shore of Helen River would be the domain of the first men.
Get out of
The
this.
forest would remain undisturbed under the domain of the children. It was there that they decided that no more weirwood trees would be chopped down, and to commemorate it, all the weirwood trees on the island were carved with faces. And this is what gave the island its name. And it's these carving of faces in the trees that were said to be the faces that observed the pact inside between the two races.
An enemy has been slain.
And so it was, in 10,000 BAL, the forging of the pact between the children of the forest and the first men, that the Dawn Age came to a close. It was in this newly created time of peace, where the children of the forest and the first men coexisted,
This gets to the
that the
point.
first men themselves actually adopted the religion of the children of the forest and began to worship the old gods. And this would continue, particularly in the north, where they held true to this. Oaths will take place in front of the sacred heart trees, and as you can see, the Night's Watch to this day still take the oath underneath and in the presence of the heart trees. And as the first men built their own kingdoms and their own castles, within their grounds they would always have a godwood, collecting the heart trees and a place where they could find solace and also as a way of worship. In the place of solitude, prayer, and remarriage. Marriage and taking the black is perceived to be binding. And then the purple of the marriage of incense. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see more of this, subscribe, like, and please activate the notifications.
Stretches from the wall down to the neck. Now around the
I'm whooping shit like I always do.
You are late, boy. Tomorrow you will be here at midday. Who are you? Your dancing master, Sirio Forel. 9 years, Sirio Forel was first sought to the Synod of Drago. This is the Drago stance. How can you be as a snake? As quiet as a shadow. When you are somewhere else.
Nothing's worth anything to dead men.
Come with us. Your father wants to see you. And why is it that Lord Eddard is sending Lannister men in place of his own? I wonder. Mind your place, dancing master. This is no concern of yours.